Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Before we get going, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Trying to grow this channel. You guys been doing it, doing a pretty doggone good job. It's helping us out tremendously. And Steve, I feel like you always hit it, but I'm gonna do the reminder today. The members are growing. The members are growing. I don't know if there's an update necessary today or not, but I know we're doing all right, I know it's growing, and you guys are doing a good job with the membership, and we're gonna hold up to our end of the bargain. We're gonna make sure that it pays off, and we got a membership show that's sweet, and we drop some gems on you. But Steve, what the heck we talking about, man?
We're gonna be talking about some golden opportunities today. We'll play on words there. Golden opportunities, golden chances. A couple of days ago, came out that the Detroit Lions hosted Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden on a visit. Raised my eyebrows a little bit. What was your initial reaction when you thought, or when you saw that he was coming to Detroit for a visit? What are we doing?
What are we doing? What is going on here? Was my first reaction. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was like, ooh, Brad. Bradley, what are we doing, man? So yeah, I don't know. I'm eager to talk about it, and I'm very, very interested in what he's got doing.
So Matthew Golden, started his college career at the University of Houston. His whole coaching staff got canned. He stuck around for a little bit. Eventually ended in the transfer portal. Ended up staying in his home state of Texas, playing for the Longhorns. I think he's an interesting piece, Will. He's very, very interesting. The last couple of days we've been talking about some guys, and my ears perked up when I heard Matthew Golden. I'm thinking, why is the Detroit Lions bringing in him? Like he's a first-round pick. Do we need a wide receiver in round one? Is Brad trying to set something up for the future with some contracts? Like, what's going on? So I was a little confused, a little surprised. It's nothing against Matthew Golden. It's just not the direction I want the Detroit Lions to head in, but he's an interesting prospect, Will.
Yeah, and I think this, for me, I might have been a little bit more worried if we didn't do that show about that quarterback. I'm not going to get into it. It's a very sensitive subject, and people were very angry. So I'm not
going to go. Will Howard's the best quarterback in this draft from Ohio State University. That one?
No, surprisingly, that wasn't even as sensitive as the subject that I was talking about. But anyways, neither here nor there. I will say, just the front half of that show where we talked about when we talked about maybe if we only had from the second round pick 60 on through the rest of the draft, what would that draft look like? And it's to me, it still looked like a pretty doggone good draft, a draft where I would say that our team got better. So then maybe Brad's cooking something up where he's like, man, maybe I got a little room to go get Jared another piece. Or the rumors going around, maybe we're getting a piece for to replace somebody who isn't affordable in Mr. JMO. How do you feel about that aspect of it, since it's been getting tossed around Twitter, tossed around content creators? Potentially, maybe we can't afford JMO, and maybe Matthew Golden is coming in as a replacement for JMO.
So trading JMO, there's no heat behind that. That's just content creators creating a little heat. Maybe, it's a boring time of the season. Maybe they can't do what we do here at Detroit Den 313 and break down prospects. So they have to kind of come up with some crazy stuff to talk about. Like trading Jameson Williams. Is that what you're alluding to, William? Is that what you'd like me to address?
I'm alluding to that, as well as just the potential of maybe we're bringing in Matthew Golden to replace him when we have to let him go after his 5th-year option. Either or, both are floating around the air. Very interesting. How do you feel about them?
Yeah, I was just getting a text from my intern. I'll respond to that later. We're not trading Jameson Williams. I don't know where that's coming from. I've seen it. I've seen the stuff on Twitter. I don't know where these rumors have even started. I have an idea because I kind of was browsing and saw an article. I'm not here to dime any certain individual out, but I'll just say that, man, it's not even a quiet time for Detroit Lions. This is like busy time for Detroit Lions. So we don't need to come up with crazy trade scenarios. Like, we could have a discussion about it, but to post an article and say, here's why the Detroit Lions must trade Jameson Williams. Like, no, we're not trading Jameson Williams. All right. We're a team that's knocking on the door of a Super Bowl. We're going to add pieces to the current team. We're going to get healthy. We're going to add in free agency like we've done. We're going to add in the draft that we're going to be doing next week. Brad's not shipping off any pieces that he already knows what he's getting from them, unless the return is just astronomical. That's the only way I see any player getting moved right now. Next year, maybe different story with some contracts, but we're not trading Jameson Williams, but if we took Matthew Golden, I'd still be a little concerned, Will. I think you've kind of been floating out the idea of having a little bit of fun with that first round pick, and that creates some extreme anxiety for Steve Perkins. All right. I do not want to be playing around with my first round pick. I've said, get me my DN, my D tackle, the rest of the draft, have a little fun, get a little creative, do something crazy. I'm all for it. That first round pick, man, I expect that to be a difference maker in some type of way. And Matthew Golden is that, but I don't want to get too crazy. Just stick to what you know, Brad. Just beef up this team. Wherever you see a true weakness, fix it. I'm not in love with Matthew Golden. I'm not in love with some other players. I'm all about trench warfare. Will Matthew Golden? Hey, if he could rush the passer, we might be able to have a conversation. But I just don't think he fits there. And where we would be drafting him at 28, I like some other guys later in the draft more than him, even if I don't have to throw a draft grade on him. So I can understand the process behind it and building for the future, but I just don't like the selection of a wide receiver if that's what we end up doing.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I get it. It does interest me. And it's in Brad we trust. If Brad drafted him, I'd be like, okay, here we go, Brad. You're laying it on the table again, and let's see what happens. What does tomorrow hold? I'd be shocked, man. I'd be shocked. But again, I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again today. I do not believe that Brad Holmes believes that we're as far away as other people believe we're as far away as other people believe. I just don't believe that based on his conversation. And he hasn't been one to just get at the podium and lie. He said, hey, listen, we're bringing back some veteran guys. We're still in contact with Zadarius Smith as well. We're looking at bolstering each position all the time, but he likes what we have. He feels like we're strong on the D line. We have a lot of depth there. I don't think that he's by any means in a panic, but he's looking for elite talent at the edge always. He'd love to have not only Aiden, but 2, 3 of those guys on this team. But it's a matter of, hey, when I'm going through these mock drafts, and you can say what you want about mock drafts, it's looking like Nick Scorton. You know what I mean? Like it's looking like as that edge position that's still there at that 28 spot. It's not looking like, and then after that is you got some character issue guys. You got some guys that people are saying there's no way Brad's going to draft. You got guys that are more second round guys than first round guys. It just gets a little bit cloudy once you get to pick 28 if you're looking at how some of these edge rushers might go. So I think it could be interesting because I think he's going to draft best player available and people could potentially lose their minds.
God, well, I hate that term. I hate that term, best player available, because people just look at Mel Kiper's little list at the bottom and they say, oh, the best player available is Jalen Milroe right now in round 1, pick 28. Does that really fit the Detroit Lions best player available? All right, if Jalen Milroe's still the best player available at pick 31 when the Kansas City Chiefs are on the board, should they go best player available and try to replace Patrick Mahomes? Like, it just doesn't make sense for everyone. But sometimes it's like talking to a wall when you try to explain what best player available really means to Lions fans. Like, it has to fit the team as well. Like, what if best player available is Omari and Hampton from North Carolina? Are we going to draft him? Are we going to have running back 3? Is that the most important piece right there? Like, it's just, I hate that term. I know a lot of people say Brad's going to draft BPA. Well, he's going to draft best player available according to what his team needs. So
yeah,
try to add that in there. Yeah.
And people need to understand that best player available is relative to your scouts and your team, not only what you need. So what does Brad say? I'm not going to reach for a player because of need. So because I need an edge, I could definitely use a good edge on my team. I'm not going to draft a bottom first tier edge because I need an edge and neglect these other positions. I'd rather get a playmaker on my team, or I'd rather get a difference maker on my team than draft somebody just because they could be put into a slot where we could use some, a solid player because we're a little light there. I think he would rather go out and sign a veteran player that has proven that they can start or take meaningful reps in the league before he would run the risk of drafting somebody that may or may not pan out to even be a starter. You know what I mean? Or even take meaningful reps to hold off a veteran that they might get from somebody else. So I think when I look at best player available, that's what I mean. And when I talk about that, that's what I mean. So, but getting back to Matthew Golden, man, I see a guy. Listen, Steve, this is a dude. He's a dude, man. He's a dude. I absolutely love his game. I love his game. The only thing that I will say, people are comparing him to like JMO. He's not JMO. He's not JMO. He's not even a JMO type of receiver. He's not a guy that's taking stuff to the crib. He doesn't play like he ran what a 4.29, I believe. Yeah, he ran a 4.29, and I think he had a what was it, a
1.49 10-yard split,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, 1.49 10-yard split, man. And he doesn't play like that on the field. He doesn't play with that type of speed on the football field when you watch his tape. He isn't slow by any means, but J-Mo was making everybody look slow, running away from them, just raw, just I'm a beast, I'm fast, I'm athletic, and I'm just special athleticism. That's not what I see out of him. I see polished from Matthew Golden. I see some pretty doggone good route running. I see him plucking the football out of the air, nice strong hands, making tough catches. I see a guy who is willing. He can definitely get better. He can definitely get better in the blocking game, but he is willing and the effort is there. He's down to do it. 5'11", 190 pounds. He's not a small guy. I think Isaiah Bond, his counterpart, is like, yeah, he ran a little bit faster, but he ran a he's 160 pounds. And by faster, I know the 40 time, but he was clocked at what, 24 miles an hour or whatever, his max speed or whatever. And he looks faster on the football field, his counterpart in Isaiah Bond. But if I'm looking at who's better in between the two, if I'm looking at who's the most complete receiver in this NFL draft, I'm looking at two guys, Steve. And I think you know what two guys.
Say their names. Say their names.
Yeah, I think you know what two guys I'm gonna say. I'm looking at Matthew Golden and Kyle Williams as the most complete receivers in this draft. Guys that can come in immediately, do all the things that you needed to do. The only thing that I wish that Matthew Golden had a little bit more of is wiggle. When he gets the ball, he's kind of elusive, but he's not juking and doing crazy stuff where he's going to get you 80-yard touchdowns, but he makes big plays. He takes it off in chunks. When they started the season off, Texas, Isaiah Bond was the top dog at the beginning of the season. Matthew Golden was the top dog at the end of the season. He is going to help out whatever team that he goes to. Now, Steve, do I really believe that it's going to be the Detroit Lions? I don't, but I wouldn't freak out if it was. If Brad drafted him, and it's not because of who he is, it's because of who Brad is. So if Brad said, hey, listen, he's there, I'm taking him, I'd be like, okay, like I gotta roll with Brad, but it's not what I'm looking for. Obviously, you said you weren't looking for it, but how would you feel if Brad did it anyway? Would you be losing your mind?
I'm not going to lose my mind. It takes a lot more than that to get Steve Perkins to come unglued, but I would absolutely be beside myself if we drafted Matthew Golden at the round one. Well, here's the thing. All I got to do is just sit back and look at the team, offense, defense. Offense was top 5 in every stat, every category last year. Defense, bottom 5. Which one needs more help? And I'm going to go add a wide receiver. Doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. This is a loaded defensive class. Like, address it, Brad. That's all I'm saying. A D tackle, linebacker, D end, whatever it is to make this defense better. Okay. If I want to look at how the Detroit Lions played on offense last year, I have no questions other than some turnovers in a playoff game. Like, we were the best offense from day one to end of the regular season, I guess we'll say. We'll end it there. I just don't need offense in round one. Like, I just don't see it. When I just sit back and look at it, it's just a glaring need on defense. We got to get healthier, one, and we're going to do that. And I think we could use some more depth. It does a little bit concern me that Brad Holmes says things about how he loves our D-line depth, because I love our starters. I don't know that I love Pat O'Connor. I don't know that I love some other pieces that we have on this team as possibly playing significant roles if injuries were to happen like last year. I don't want to see anything like that happen, but I just can't draft a wide receiver in round one when my defense is just gushing. Like, I don't know. I still think that we have a little bit more room to do there. But Matthew Golden's a hell of a piece. He's a great player, but like you said, what's the difference between him and Kyle Williams in like round 2 or maybe even 3 in a trade back scenario? Like, I think you could get him and you wouldn't miss a beat, and you could go out in the first round and still take care of your defense, maybe even your second round as well.
I think there's receivers all through this draft. And one thing that I will say I 100% agree with you on is we don't need to get a receiver this year. Not even an X guy late, which is something that I really like. We don't even need to do that. We re-signed Timothy Patrick for a year. One thing that there will be all the time is kids that love to catch the football and try to score touchdowns. Those guys aren't going anywhere, right? So next year, there's going to be some doggone good receivers in the draft. The year after that, there's going to be some doggone good receivers in the draft. So it's not something that we have to panic and pull the trigger on right now. So for those reasons, I would be out on Matthew Golden, but I'm still excited about the thought of what's going to happen in this draft and the potential that it could happen, because Brad doesn't bring people in for no reason for top 30 visits. Now, you could say he plays games with some of these other visits and he mixes and he mingles, but he doesn't typically play games with those top 30 visits, in my opinion, man. Those top 30 visits are him putting eyeballs on people, him doing his due diligence. And it may be, hey, kind of like Terry and Arnold, hey, I'm just going to get eyes on you just in case you slide to a certain point and then I go make a move. So for me, man, I think maybe there's a point in this draft where if Matthew Golden gets to a certain point, maybe he said, hey, I'm going to go grab him and there's some type of package that he has in mind to get some extra draft equity or whatever. But he interviewed him for a reason. So it yet remains to be seen what's going to happen on draft day. But if I'm a betting man, Steve, I don't think it's Matthew Golden.
I don't think so either. And I found I was watching a little something before we started recording today. Matthew Golden was doing an interview with Pro Football Talk, and they asked him, what's something you think you need to improve your game on? And I think this just isn't the Detroit Lions mindset, is when he said, I could be better at blocking. I respect that he thinks that's his weakness. I respect that he wants to go out and address it and make it better. But Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes aren't going to draft a wide receiver who has issues blocking. Like, you can say what you want about J-Mo. He's willing to block. Like, he's done it. He's sprung free some big runs, big passes. He'll get downfield and block. He has no problem with it. I like Matthew Golden. I like that he addressed that and he says, I need to get better at it. I respect that a lot. But I just think that's like the staple of Detroit Lions. If you're going to play wide receiver, you better be able to block. No block, no rock. Like, that's the saying. So I think that might be a little, okay, yeah, like, he's good, but is he only out there to catch football? Like, I'm not saying he doesn't like blocking, but I just think that might be one small little red flag for the Detroit Lions. Another team, I think it'd be a great fit. I just don't, I don't know if that's the right piece for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I will say Isaiah Bond ain't blocking nobody. Ain't blocking nobody. Matthew Golden is a willing guy. He's willing to stick his nose in there. He's just not winning all the time. Like, he's not. And somehow, even though J-Mo is 110 pounds, he's out there winning. I can't figure it out for the life of me, but he's out there. He's winning some battles, So
it's not the size of the dog in the fight, Will. It's the size of the fight in the dog. Okay.
Okay. You remember that as we continue to talk about this draft process moving forward. But last thing that I'll say, Matthew Golden, receivers and all this stuff, I'm a little bit different boat, man. I do believe that offense could potentially be in play, especially this offensive line, man. It could definitely be in play. When I look at our defense, I'm kind of getting into this point, man. What players at pick 28 are going to start immediately, right? With the D-line that we have. And I got to put in Aleem McNeil. Even though he's not playing currently, I'm talking about who's going to come to the team and be a starter. So if a guy gets starting reps because they end up beating out Roy Lopez through training camp, but when Aleem comes back, what are we doing? When DJ Reader comes back, what are we doing? Levi Onwuzurike, what are we doing? Aiden Hutchinson, what are we doing? Derek Barnes, Grant Stewart. Like, I think Grant Stewart might be out there in that rotation somewhere. We still got Malcolm Rodriguez. We still got Alex Anzalone. We still got Jack Barnes, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, DJ Reed, like Terry and Arnold, Amik Robertson. There's not a lot of positions, even on this defense, that are necessarily up for grabs, Steve. Derek Barnes.
You missed one. The biggest question mark of all, Marcus Davenport. Like, when he gets hurt, that's whose starting job they take.
That wasn't an accident. That wasn't an accident though, because I'm working my way to this. Even if Marcus Davenport plays 3 snaps, we still got, I didn't name Makai Wingo. Like we still got guys. Now listen, Broderick Martin is set to take a step forward and actually have pads on this season. Like, well, like
maxi pads or football pads? What are we talking?
You know what I mean? But yeah, who knows, man? Don't let him mess around and get into a little competition and turn a corner this year, man. Year three is a potential when you can see something a lot of times, man, out of these guys, man. So I don't think it's as light as people are feeling. You know, Alquin Muhammad, that's another one. Like it's Patrick O'Connor, like you just named. We can keep naming dudes for days, man. So these are guys who have gotten starting caliber reps, who are the backups. Isn't that what you want? You want guys who can back up your starters. Listen, I am okay with Marcus Davenport or Levi Onwuzurike going out there and playing big boy in. Like I'm okay with either one of them going out there and playing big boy in. If you're telling me that we got DJ Reader and Lee McNeil and Aiden Hutchinson on the rest of that D line, I'm okay with it. Like so, and if
there is a better chance that an asteroid lands directly at midfield on Ford Field than Broderick Martin playing football and being meaningful on a football field.
Broderick Martin was just me talking. Like I was just being silly, but the rest of it I'm dead serious about though. I have no problem with Levi Onwuzurike being out there. I have no problem with Marcus Davenport, obviously, if he's healthy, being out there. Makai Wingo is somebody that I'm interested in. I didn't even name Josh Pascal. That's another one. Like we do have D-line dudes, man. Like it's not like it's just automatic that a dude gets in here and he gets reps. Like he's got to be good. He's got to be able to take one of those guys' spots. So I am not going to be surprised if Brad drafts a kicker in round one. Like I mean, like people, I'm being silly, but I'm just trying to get people ready because I think that it's going to be, Twitter is probably going to explode. People are going to lose their minds. It's a reason why these guys are coming in and they're getting interviews. It's because Brad is going to, now if there's a guy there, like listen, if Kenneth Grant is there, okay, Kenneth Grant is going to come in and probably start. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? But if those guys are gone, Shamar Stewart's gone, Kenneth Grant's gone, Derek Harmon's gone. You know what I mean? Hey, listen. Now we're down to, man, Talik Williams. Like, is he a first round draft pick? I like him, but is he the pick, or are we taking Matthew Golden? Are we taking a flyer on? Do you just take a lineman? Do you just go take Gray Zabel? So I'm seeing it on Twitter, and I think it's because we're getting so close to the draft. People are itching. They're like, yeah, it's here. It's about to be here. It's about to be here. And they're like, yeah, man, we're about to get James Pierce. We're about to get, you know, I'm seeing all types of stuff on Twitter today, man. People are just posting all of these edge rushers that we're about to get and whatever. And I'm like, because I gotta control myself too, Steve. I gotta control myself too, because I'm like, I just gotta mentally prepare myself as well. Brad can do anything that he sets his pretty little mind to. And
we can, but it better damn well better be the right thing. Like it better make this team better. There's just certain positions where I think we could gradually improve. I think we have a deep enough roster where we have really good guys, like you mentioned. Who's upgradable? I think a lot of those guys you mentioned, I can upgrade from them. Like I can upgrade from Pat O'Connor. I think I can upgrade from Marcus Davenport when he gets hurt. It's not a matter of if, it's when. There's just certain players I look at and say, yeah, they're good. They play good football. Are there guys coming into this draft that play better than them that are immediate upgrades on my second string or better? And I think that go ahead.
I was going to say, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to say, let me ask you this. Mike Green, right? Do you believe that, well, I ain't even going to say Mike Green because we ain't drafted Mike Green. So let me Nick Scorton. We'll use Nick Scorton. Do you think that Nick Scorton is better than Marcus Davenport if Marcus Davenport is healthy?
No, but I know Marcus Davenport's not playing 17 games.
Okay. All right. So do you think that he's better than Levi Onwuzurike if Levi Onwuzurike is healthy?
At the end, yes. I think Levi Onwuzurike could be really good at defensive tackle while Lee McNeil's out.
Yeah, I think Levi Onwuzurike, I mean, does he have more upside? Potentially. But I think Levi Onwuzurike is probably better than him next season. So what are we talking? We're talking about trying to win a Super Bowl next season. So, I mean, like, am I upgrading the position, or do I want to go to a position that maybe I can upgrade? I'm just saying, like, it's not a clear cut that these guys, because they're not even competing with the Pat O'Connors and the Mekhi Wingos, they got to get through the Levi Onwuzurikes and the Josh Pascal's playing defensive tackle, because I don't love Josh Pascal at end, but I think Josh Pascal is a super athletic defensive tackle. So, I mean, it's just.
I also think he's very, very upgradable.
Oh, yeah, but he's a reserve guy. We're talking about our reserve guys now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I don't care that you're upgrading my reserve guy when I'm trying to get impact players to come, be on this team next year so we can make the Super Bowl run. All right. So if we want to win a Super Bowl next season, what roster puts us in the best position to do that next season? And maybe it is, man, having J-Mo and Matthew Golden out there at the same time. Maybe it is having, Gray Zabel out there instead of, Graham Glasgow. Maybe it is, man, just pulling the trigger on something, man, that we're not even thinking about. So I don't know, man. It's interesting.
Can I say something else? Go ahead.
Absolutely. No, I was just going to tell you something that's going to make you happy.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, I mean, trust me. Well, I'm in the trenches. I'm in diaper hell right now. Okay. So a lot of things are going to make me happy. Right? I'm in living diaper hell. So whatever you're going to say is probably going to make me happy. But I don't want people to get the impression that I am so close-minded that I am just absolutely not on offense at all in this first round of the draft, because I'll say this. The other night I was thinking our defense was really tested last year with injuries. Like, you guys know the story. It was a bloodbath. We haven't really seen our offense get battled by attrition and injuries yet. So if that's what Brad's thinking, that would make sense. And that's what I would have to think is he drafted Matthew Golden because there's not a lot of great depth in our wide receiver room. Like, you need 3 wide receivers. You need 3 really good ones. If he thinks Matthew Golden is that 2-3 combo and he kind of just adds some more depth, or offensive lineman, if it's Gray Zabel, who's that offensive guard you like from Booker? Like, I can understand it. And that's how I'd have to look at this and say, all right, we just drafted one of those 3 guys because Brad's preparing for the possibility of our offense now having some attrition in the injury room. Then I would say, all right, it makes sense. But if everyone's fully healthy, our offense is loaded. I don't think we need any help. And I know that that's not the world we live in. Something's going to happen. Like, if Penei Sewell has to miss a game at the same time as Taylor Decker, like, maybe what if both of those guys are out? Now what do? We only have Dan Skipper, who's going to play left. Like, there's some things we could have a discussion about. So it would make sense on draft night if I see those, and I think Brad Holmes is preparing for a doomsday scenario on this Detroit Lions offense. So that's why I will not be absolutely wrestled, because that's what my mindset will be.
Dig it, man. The thing that I was going to tell you that I know that you're going to be excited about, have you looked at that top 30 visit list?
I haven't seen an official list of every single player who's been here. No, who's on it?
Yeah, you won't, because that's not the thing. They don't even.
Right.
They don't.
Well,
have
I mean,
people
people leak it though, like, and you can kind of piece it together.
Yeah. So, and I even think, man, because I was going through looking since 2021, kind of off subject, but who was on that list? Who do we draft? Blah blah blah, whatever. Listen, I didn't see Jahmyr Gibbs on that list. I didn't see Jack Campbell on that list. But then when you look at Inside the Den, you get to see them interviewing them, so you know that they actually came in and they sat down with them. So I mean, it just put that in your pocket, especially the people that are commenting like, "Hey, listen, they haven't even sat down with this person or that person." We don't know everybody who they sat down with, but I knew this would excite you today. I almost texted you when I found it out,
and I'm already disappointed you didn't.
Because I wanted to wait and tell you in front of the people. Detroit Lions did have a sit down with Mr. Donovan Izoroku. I don't know if you knew that already.
I did see that one a couple days
ago.
ago.
Did you? Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, it's not on the list. I didn't see it on any other list. So today I was doing some things that I'll tell you about off air, because we don't need everybody to know what we do and how we figure out certain things. But I was looking at some stuff and I happened to stumble across that, and I was like, "Ooh, Steve is going to be excited about that." So
that's my round 1 guy.
He's in play. We'll see.
Trade everything to get Donovan Izoroku. Trade all 7 draft picks to get Donovan Izoroku.
He's joking, people. He's joking.
Am I, Will? Am I joking? Do I look like a jokester to you? Do I look like a clown just sits here and tells jokes? All right. Anything else for tonight?
That's it, man. You guys know the same old, same old. Let us know how you're feeling about Matthew Golden. Let us know who your guy is. Let us know what you want to talk about next.
All right, guys. I've been enough time. I unfortunately have to go back downstairs and just live back in diaper hell. This has been a nice little escape. Stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.